So welcome. Let's begin with a power-packed revision of chapter number 15. This is the session number 1 in which we are going to focus on sari 2400 because the right age to wear a sari is 24. So here we are going to begin with the topic of review of financial information. Before I begin with this topic, let's understand, sir, what is a review, how it is different from audit, because that's the basic. So before I discuss about review, let's revise what was audit. Sir, audit was all about obtaining RA, reasonable assurance that the financial statement as a whole are free from material misstatement. Once you get the reasonable assurance, you are in a position to express your opinion that the financial statements have been prepared in all material respects as per the applicable FRA. So can I say in audit, the engagement risk is reduced to a acceptably low level. But what happens in review? Sir, it is a limited assurance, not a reasonable assurance. So here the engagement risk is reduced, not to an acceptably low level, only to an acceptable level. So the risk is more than a audit engagement. Clear, sir. So now to get this lower level of assurance, what is the process? Very simple. You just need to perform your procedures, but limited procedures. Limited procedures like inquiry, analytical procedures, procedures in special circumstances. These are the procedure. Now through these procedures, you get sufficient and appropriate evidence. Then you draw conclusion, limited conclusion, and there is no scope of opinion. Even this conclusion is negatively worded. Okay, sir. Then we started with the standards. There are two standards, SRE 2400, SRE 2410. How you remember this? The right age to wear a sari is 24. Got it, sir. What does SRE 2400 talks about? We are going to focus in this video. It talks about review of historical financial information. That means the financial statements. When the practitioner is not the auditor of the company. So word used here will be the practitioner, not the auditor. Okay, sir. And it talks about the form and content of the report. Basic things. Again, we divided this SRE into 3 parts: engagement, acceptance, performing the procedures, then reporting. In engagement acceptance, the most important is factors. Factors affecting the acceptance and continuance of the client relationships and engagement. All those who have revised the last class, tell me, how do you remember these factors? Sir, if you are not satisfied with these losers, say you are not satisfied, then don't accept the engagement. Oh, in losers, if you are not satisfied, don't accept the engagement. How we remembered that in losers is what, sir? In losers basically means what? Integrity. That means you have a doubt over the integrity of the management. Information needed to perform the engagement. That information is unavailable or unreliable. Oh, loser means what? Loser. Come on. Loser. Loose means limitation on scope. Limitation on scope means limitation on scope such that it will result in disclaimer of conclusion. It will cause a disclaimer of conclusion. Got it, sir. If at the end it will lead to a disclaimer of conclusion, what is the point? What is the point of accepting such engagement? And means ethical requirement. Basically, you feel you will not be able to comply with the ethical requirement, including independence. So don't accept the engagement. And last point is you are not satisfied. Practitioner is not satisfied about what? Rational thinking. Rational purpose of this engagement. When does your rational thinking gets affected? When you drink more ml than your limit. Come on. When you drink more ml than your limit, your rational thinking gets affected. Sir, what is this ml? What is the limit? Let's recall. Limit means limitation on scope. Oh, significant limitation on scope. M for misuse of the practitioner's name. Basically, you feel as a practitioner, your name associated with the report will be used in an inappropriate manner. This is the point which is given in your book. And the last point is what? L for law regulation. This engagement was done because of the law regulation, but law regulation requires audit, not a review. So now you are questioning the appropriateness of engagement. So what are the options which are available? Either an audit engagement or a non-assurance engagement. Non-assurance engagement like a compilation engagement or any other accounting engagement. That's it, sir. And in this, few important points that you need to consider. These financial statements can be special purpose or general purpose. This special purpose wala point we discussed in this example. Gotcha? Gotcha, sir. Then we discussed this topic. We have just covered this topic. Please revise it well. I feel ICI should ask it. And once ICI asks it, you will score 5 on 5. Pakka? Pakka, sir. Now comes the second part, preconditions for accepting an engagement. Just go in a very logical way. What is pre before? What comes before audit? Financial statements. What comes before the financial statements? FRF. Right? Right, sir. So the first thing is FRF should be acceptable. Come on. FRF should be acceptable. What is the second thing? Sir, management ke saath agreement. We need to enter into an agreement with the management that management understands and acknowledges the responsibility for what? Financial statements as per the FRF. To make sure financial statements are free from material misstatement, internal control, then to provide the auditor with, do with me everyone. Again. Sir, what is AU? AU means all information, additional information and unrestricted access. Done, done, sir. 2 pages clear. Now comes the next part. Sir, what if we are not satisfied? What if the preconditions are not present? Discuss. Still, if you are not satisfied, don't accept. But sir, after acceptance, if we are not satisfied, then what to do? See whether the matter can be resolved. Okay, sir. Sir, if it is not able to resolve, we are not able to resolve the matter, then Baba, see, simple thing is withdraw. If the withdrawal is not possible, disclaim. How they have written this thing? Withdraw means consider whether it is appropriate to continue with the engagement. Disclaim means consider the impact on your practitioner's report. Are these 3 points clear? Yes, sir. First of all, we'll try to resolve, then we'll try to withdraw, then we'll try to disclaim. Got it? Got it, sir. Then we talked about agreeing the terms of engagement. These are the same points as we discussed in essay 210. These engagement terms should be agreed before you start performing the review. Got it, sir. They need to be recorded in an engagement letter or any written agreement. Plus sometimes when you are doing a recurring engagement, you need to revise the terms of agreement. These revision wala part we have already covered in essay 210. Acha, sir. If they are saying to change the terms, see whether RJ is there. RJ, radio jockey? No. Reasonable justification. There should be reasonable justification for changing the terms. That's it. If reasonable justification is there, then you can change the terms and record the new terms in a new engagement letter. Please tell me, is the first phase of this SRE clear to you? Come on. Is the first phase of the SRE clear? Yes, sir. This is the first phase of SRE, engagement acceptance. Quickly give me a thumbs up in the chat box. Chalo. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Then we move to the second phase, talking about performing the review engagement. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now let's talk about performing the review engagement. Very easy, sir. Very easy. First point about materiality. This is the same as we discussed in essay 320. Calculate the materiality for financial statement as a whole. Why we calculate the materiality? Essay 530, essay 450. Performing the procedures and evaluation of misstatement. Acha, does the materiality change with the level of assurance? Come on. Does the materiality change with the level of assurance? That means, will the materiality for an audit be different from a review? The answer is no. Materiality remains the same regardless. Stay with me. Regardless of the level of assurance. Got it? Got it, sir. But sometimes you need to revise the materiality in case you become aware of some information which you were not aware earlier. That means if you get to know controls are very bad, control risk is very high, risk of material misstatement is very high. That means you need to reduce your detection risk. To reduce your detection risk, you need to do more testing. To do more testing, bring down your materiality. Got it, sir. Then you understand the entity to identify and assess the risk of material misstatement. Who taught you? Essay 315. So here also you can identify the areas where material misstatement is likely to write. Just read these 2 topics, materiality and understanding. Then comes designing and performing the procedures. Whatever procedures you feel you should perform, you should perform. Mainly the 2 procedures performed are inquiry and analytical procedure. The best part about inquiry is it is divided into 3 phases. Phase number 1, getting the information. Phase number 2, evaluating the response. Phase number 3, inconsistency. Say with me. Phase number 1, getting the information. Phase number 2, evaluating the response. Phase number 3, inconsistency. How do you get the information? Sir, you seek. No one gives the information like this. You have to take the person and you have to seek the information. You have to become a devil, little devil, cute devil. So you have to seek the information from management and other persons whichever are appropriate in the entity. What type of information? Financial, non-financial. Come on. Financial, non-financial. Give me the examples of financial information. Fraud. Sir, fraud means fraud, related party, accounting estimates, unusual transactions. D for nothing. Okay? So these are the points. Make the inquiries about fraud, any existence of actual, suspected or alleged fraud. Related party means identification of related parties. A for accounting estimates, U for significant unusual transactions, and D for nothing plus SA 560, 570. 560 means the events, that is the subsequent events between the date of financial statement and the date of report. 570 means your going concern assessment plus any event or condition that may cast significant doubt on the entity's ability to continue as a going concern. That's it, Baba. That's it. Can we do inquiry about non-financial matters also? Yes. You can also extend your inquiries to non-financial data if appropriate. This is the first phase of inquiry done. Now come to the second phase. Sir, what is the second phase? Arey Baba, you have asked the information. Now whatever response you get, evaluate that. Oh, so you need to evaluate the responses received from the management. Who will you call to evaluate? Who will you call to evaluate? Sir, doubtful wife. This wife is full of professional skepticism. So basically what happened was the husband came late. He came at 1 a.m. in the night and wife asked, where were you? He said, I was caught in a meeting. Plus I got a challan from a police officer. So I got very late. So what are the two things she will ask? What were the actions taken at the meeting where you got late? Second thing, where is the challan? Challan means the communication received or expected to be received from regulatory agencies. Plus, she may perform other procedures, and regarding those other procedures, she can ask the inquiry. So that means the matters arising in the course of other procedures. Are these 3 points clear? Yes, sir. Meeting, regulatory agency, other procedures. Now comes the last point about inconsistency. Whenever as a practitioner, you find some inconsistency between two evidence, let's say bank confirmation and bank statement, who do you reach out to? Management. Inquire about the inconsistency. Whatever response they give, evaluate it under the light of. The light of what? Two things. What you performed in the previous point, other procedures. In the light of other procedures, and your understanding about the entity and its environment. That's it. Got the points? Yes, sir. Now let's discuss about analytical procedure, but there is nothing to discuss. They have just written one line that for analytical procedures to analyze, there should be some data, adequate data. Now my question to all of you, why is inquiry and analytical procedures important? This question is also there in your question bank. The first question of your question bank is this only. Why is inquiry important? So what will you answer? Sir, inquiry is important to check the intent. Come on, say with me. Inquiry is important to check the intent. Yani inquiry is often a principal source of evidence about the management's intent. However, the information to corroborate this inquiry may be limited. So how do you check the intent? Sir, we check the intent through the example of a student who says that it is my intention to study for 12 hours. How do you check that intention? Past history, whether he has done this before. What is the motivation? Reasoning behind it. And the last point is ability. Past history, reasoning, ability. Come on. Past history, reasoning, ability. Once more. Past history, reasoning and ability. Clear? Clear, sir. How was the wife? She was a doubtful wife. She had professional skepticism. So inquiry allows you to apply professional skepticism in evaluating the responses of the management. And last point was, iska last is iska first. Come on. Iska last is iska first, that is understanding the entity, obtaining and updating the understanding of entity and environment to identify what are the areas where there can be material misstatement. So this is the first benefit of analytical procedure, obtaining and understanding the entity to identify the areas where there can be material misstatement. So in analytical procedure, when you are doing your analysis, Where are the material misstatement? Wherever you find some inconsistency. Wherever you find some inconsistency or variances from the expected trends, expected values in the financial statement, there are material misstatement. So what do you perform? Additional procedures. You as a practitioner perform additional procedures whenever you become aware that there are some areas in the financial statements wherever there is material misstatement. When you are performing these procedures, what do you get? Corroborative evidence. Very easy, sir. So basically it provides corroborative evidence to the inquiry and other analytical procedure. Give me an example of analytical procedure. Month on month comparative analysis of revenue and cost. Come on. Month on month comparative analysis of revenue and cost. That's it. That's it, sir. That's it, sir. Then comes the next topic, procedures to address specific circumstances. What is the speciality about this topic? Please tell me in the chat box. Chalo. Everyone, we are just about to get over with the first class of this. Chalo, tell me. Come on, turn the radio on. Specific circumstances. What was the top points? Full essay, essay. Which essays? Sir, these are the same essays now which we discuss in other matters. Sir, other matters of the inherent limitation of auditing. Sir, other matters of inherent limitations of auditing, fraud with related party, it leads to non-compliance with laws and regulation, then you will be imposed a penalty which will affect your going concern. Are these the same points written here? Yes, sir. Fraud with related party leads to non-compliance with laws and regulation affecting your going concern. And when your going concern is affected, you reach out to other people. Yani using of the work performed by others. So just remember the bold points. Just remember the red points. Sir, what are the red points? In case of related party, be alert. See, like in real life also, whenever it comes to relatives, we stay alert. What will relatives do? Okay? So when it comes to related parties also, stay alert. Stay alert about the existence of related party relationships and transactions which the management may not have disclosed to you. Oh, plus if you find some transaction which is not at arm's length price, which is outside normal course of business, there is a chance there can be a related party. Plus also evaluate the business rationale or logic of such transaction. Is the first point clear? Yes, sir. Then comes the point of fraud or no-clar. Whenever you find a fraud, whenever you find a no-clar, inform the management and TCWG so that they can evaluate the financial effects. Plus also determine whether it is your duty to report it to a third party like central government whenever the fraud is 1 crore and above. Then comes going concern. Very simple. Just see whether there is any event or condition that may cast significant doubt on entity's ability to continue as going concern. If yes, see the management's plan. Plan should have two benefits. What, sir? It should improve the situation, that then only the plan is effective. And the second thing is it should be feasible. Got it? Got it, sir. Then, sir, you have to evaluate through the inquiries whether going concern is appropriate or not. Then comes the last point, using the work performed by others, whether you use the work of other practitioners like SA600 or any expert like SA620, you just need to consider whether that work is adequate or not. Say with me, whether that work is adequate for your purpose or not, that's all that you need to consider, and I'm sure you will score 5 on 5. Gotcha, sir. Then we discussed about this point that we studied at the end of last class. Sir, what was this point? You have a feeling that the financial statements may be materially misstated. Will you leave it on maybe or turn it into reality? Sir, we will turn it into reality. We want to be sure whether the material misstatement is there or not. So what to do? Additional procedure. Do additional efforts so that you are able to prove whether material misstatement is not there or whether the material misstatement is there. So as a practitioner, you are required to perform additional procedures to conclude whether the financial statements are free from material misstatement or there is a material misstatement. Sir, what are the procedures? You did earlier what? Inquiry and analytical procedure? Yes, sir. Increase its dose. Increase the dose of analytical and inquiry procedure, yani additional inquiry, additional analytical procedure with a more focus on the areas where you feel there could be a material misstatement. Got it? Got it, sir. Second thing is, sir, we are bored. We are bored of analytical procedure, bored of inquiry. You want to do something else? Yes, sir. You can do it. Do test of details, do external confirmation. Got it? Got it, sir. If still you are not able to get the evidence, still you are not able to prove whether material misstatement is not there, continue, Baba. Continue with your additional procedures and definitely you will reach your point. But if management is not giving you the evidence, then say it is a limitation on scope and you are unable to form the conclusion. This is the same question we will cover at the end of this book. Basically end of this essay. Okay? Now comes the next topic, effect of subsequent events. It was just a revision of essay 560, two types of subsequent events. First type of event, quickly tell me. Between the date of financial statement and the date of report, what does such events require? Adjustment or non-adjustment? Non-adjustment, then disclosure. So if you find some event which requires adjustment or disclosure, request the management to adjust and disclose. If you find an event after the reporting date, no responsibility. But had this event been known to you earlier, you would have amended the report. Sir, it is creating tension in our mind. So whenever it creates stress, go to the management and do DDI. Sir, what was DDI? Discuss the matter with management. Determine whether the financial statements need amendment. If yes, how they plan to address the matter. If it needs amendment and management says no, then see whether you have given them the report. Sir, we have also given them the report. Management is not amending the financial statement and report is given to them, then request them. Request them that these financial statements should not reach the third parties. But still, if management is giving to the third parties, what you can do? What you can do? Sir, we will take an action. We will take an action to prevent the reliance on this report. Is this point clear? Yes, sir. Then comes the next topic, that is written representation. Very, very easy. Just a quick revision of essay 580. What are the written representations about? Management's responsibility that they have prepared the financial statements as per the FRF. Plus whatever information was required, they have provided to the auditor, and all the transactions are recorded and reflected in financial statements. Then, sir, can we also request additional written representation? Do it. Do it for all the financial inquiries, SA 560 and SA 570. That's it. Plus, if the management is not giving written representation, that means these people are dishonest. So discuss with them, reevaluate their integrity. If they are dishonest, also their other evidence will be bad. Other written representation will be bad. Now, if you don't have evidence, disclaim your opinion. Disclaim your conclusion. Take appropriate action in your report. That means, if you feel you have a doubt over integrity, if you feel they are not giving the written representation, you disclaim your conclusion. With this, we wrapped up the yesterday's class. In today's class, did we study something new? No, sir. In today's class, we did not study anything new. It was just a revision of the audit report chapter. So the first thing that we studied in today's class was what? Just take a deep breath. Breathe out. Relax. One more time. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Relax. Now let's begin with today's part. Sir, what if the practitioner has not obtained sufficient and appropriate evidence? Again, do the additional procedures. Again, the same thing is do the additional procedures. That means extend the work performed, perform the other procedures. Still, it is not possible to get evidence or draw conclusion. Discuss with management and TCWG. It can be an effect on the scope of review. It could be a limitation on scope. Clear? Clear, sir. Plus, sir, sometimes we are unable to perform the specific procedure, but we may get the evidence through some other procedures like an alternate procedure. Is it still a limitation on scope? The answer is no. In this case, it is not a limitation on scope if you are getting the evidence through some other procedure. Then we discuss the topic of forming the conclusion. In audit, what are the three things we see to form the opinion? Reasonable assurance that financial statements are free from material misstatement. Reasonable assurance means sufficient and appropriate evidence. Free from material misstatement means whatever uncorrected misstatements are there, they should not be material. Plus, you see some evaluations of the qualitative aspects of accounting practices. How do you see there is a quality in accounting, accounting policy, accounting estimates, and disclosure? So just ignore the evidence wala part when you are talking about review. In review, just consider two things: uncorrected misstatements and evaluation of accounting practices. Plus, if you are auditing as per the fair presentation framework, two things see. OPSC. OPSC, overall presentation structure and content. Come on. Overall presentation structure and content of the financial statements, plus whether the financial statements give a fair presentation or not. Whether the financial statements are fairly presented or not. Now, sir, what will be the wordings of the conclusion? Have you done hard work or not? Sir, no, we have not done the hard work in review. In review, we have not performed proper procedures. We have just performed limited procedures. So when you have performed limited procedures, what will you give? Limited conclusion. So you will just say whatever we have done, in that we have not found any material misstatement. So nothing has come to your attention to believe that the financial statements are materially misstated. So then you can give your unmodified conclusion. Now, sir, what were the types of modified conclusion? It depends whether you have got the evidence or not and whether the impact is pervasive or not. In case you have got sufficient and appropriate evidence, okay, and the impact is pervasive, which conclusion? Like SA 705, adverse conclusion. In case you got the evidence or not, doesn't matter. If the impact is not pervasive, qualified conclusion. In case you got sufficient and appropriate evidence and the impact is pervasive, in case you did not get sufficient and appropriate evidence and the impact is pervasive, should you give a conclusion? Answer is no. First priority, withdraw. First priority, withdraw. That means you should withdraw if possible under the law regulation. If the withdrawal is not possible, then in that case, you Baba, disclaim your conclusion. Gotcha, sir. Now, sir, understand these things. In these two cases, whenever you are not able to get the evidence, you need to mention the reasons for the inability to get evidence. Plus, whenever you are giving your basis for modified conclusion, any of these 3 points will come. In case you have modified because of a material misstatement, describe that material misstatement, also the financial effects. In case it is because of the disclosure, how the disclosure is materially misstated. In case it is because of a omission of a disclosure, give out that information. People want to know what is the nature of omitted information unless prohibited by law or regulation. So these are the 3 points you need to consider. Got it, sir. So these were the main points that we covered here. Just give a read of these topics, sir, from where to where. From 15.9 to 15.12. Practitioners report, we did a detailed coverage. Again, not a detailed coverage, just read through it because there was nothing amazing about it. Also, we read through one report that I will also upload in your Google Drive, so don't worry about that. Then we discussed EOM para, OM para. What is the comfort in this topic? Sir, it is same as audit. Same as audit, so just give it a read. Documentation, again the same thing. Procedures, evidence, conclusion. The add-on part was significant matters. Who performed? When performed? Who reviewed? When reviewed? Covered this part. Okay? Audit versus review, very simple. Reasonable assurance, limited assurance, just differentiate on the basis of process. Detailed procedures, fewer procedures. Sufficient and appropriate evidence, reasonable conclusion. Sufficient and appropriate evidence, limited conclusion. Assurance opinion, positively worded. Assurance conclusion, negatively worded. Then comes this question. Please give me the answer to this question and then I will say you tata, bye bye. Chalo. Quickly go through this question and tell me what will you write here. Don't do the cheating up, please, request. You are conducting the review. It is gathered upon inquiry. There is a possibility of material misstatement. Please tell me what answer will come here. Come on, everyone. Tell me. Yes, people. Yes, people. Jaldi se. Yes, people. Everyone. What will you do as a practitioner in their SRE 2400? Depends on pervasiveness. Arey nahi. They are saying the procedures. How will you proceed? Are you sure there is a material misstatement? No, sir. Unless you are sure, how can you modify your conclusion? You need to perform additional procedure. Very good, Sajimi. You need to perform additional procedures, yani additional inquiry, analytical procedure, or other types of procedure like substantive TOD and external confirmation. Full SRE done, full questions done. Everyone in the chat box, comfortable with this SRE or not? Come on. How was this SRE? Tell me. Awesome, sir. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Great. Done, 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 done. So that's all for right now. That's all for today. Make sure you are revising it properly before attending the next class. In the next class, we begin with the next SRE, that is SRE 2410. SRE 2410, sir, it was huge, but we made it simple. Yes, that's the power of learn with fun. Thanks a lot, everyone, for attending the class, for being so participative, for being so patient. Now, a round of applause for all of you. Chalo, have a great day ahead. And yes, let's catch up in the next session. Take care all.